This week's leaks and teases just keep on coming thanks to Ed Boon, who's tweeting about what could possibly be a return of Animalities in Mortal Kombat 11. Who exactly should get an Animality? I break down the tease, and I also give my list of the top 10 characters I think who should get an Animality. Before that, guys, hit that like button, because liking these videos lets me know that you love them. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you miss any videos just like this one. Let's get to the news. On Tuesday, Ed Boon tweeted Animality Crossing, obviously a play on the popular video game Animal Crossing, but also a nod and tease to the Animality finisher in Mortal Kombat. This got many fans excited and wondering if Animalities could be coming to Mortal Kombat 11. So what are Animalities? An Animality is a finisher that debuted in Mortal Kombat 3 that allows the victorious player's character to turn into an animal to viciously maul the defeated opponent. Animalities are presented as the character morphing into their spirit animal, in which a mercy had to be performed in the third round of the match in order to be able to perform the Animality. As I mentioned earlier, Animalities debuted in MK3, and with the exception of Shao Kahn and Motaro, only 25 of the characters have an Animality. Here's a rundown of each of the characters' Animalities. We have Baraka, who turns into a vulture and grabs the opponent's upper body and flies off, severing it from his or her lower body. Cyrax, who turns into a shark and swims underground with a fin out, coming back from the other side to the screen to devour the opponent. Ermac, who turns into a frog, then eats the opponent whole. Jade, who turns into a cat and attacks the opponent in a vicious clawing fury. Jax, who turns into a lion and pounces at the opponent, devouring him or her. Johnny Cage turns into a kangaroo, which happens to be my favorite animal, and kicks the opponent away with his powerful feet. Cabal turns into a skeletal rhinoceros and rams the opponent away. Kano turns into a giant tarantula and constricts the opponent with his legs. Katana turns into a rabbit and mauls the opponent off screen. Kung Lao turns into a cheetah and pounces at the opponent, devouring him or her. Liu Kang turns into a dragon and eats the upper half of the opponent's body as an MK2 fatality. Molina turns into a skunk and releases stinky fumes that suffocate the opponent. Nightwolf turns into a wolf, obviously, and pounces at the opponent, devouring him or her. Noob Saibot turns into an anteater and sucks the opponent into his snout. Raiden turns into an electric eel and wraps himself around the opponent, shocking him or her. Rain turns into a small elephant and blows a loud sound from his trunk, making the opponent's skin dissolve. Reptile turns into a chimpanzee and chases the opponent away, the only Animality shown not to attack the opponent. Scorpion turned into a penguin and laid an explosive egg between the opponent's legs. Sector turns into a giant bat and whooshes by the screen twice, decapitating the opponent in the second pass. Shang Tsung turns into a cobra and devours the opponent whole. Shiva turns into a giant scorpion, stings the opponent and who turns red then explodes. Sindel turns into a giant hornet, pushes the opponent off screen by repeatedly stinging him or her. Cyborg Smoke turns to a silhouette of a bull and rams the opponent off screen. Ninja Smoke turns to a porcupine and shoots his quills at the opponent. Sonya Blade turns into a hawk and grabs the opponent and flies off with him or her. Stryker turns into a Tyrannosaurus Rex and devours the upper half of the opponent's body. And Sub-Zero turns to a polar bear and pounces at the opponent, devouring him or her. And that's the only Animality that is shared with the classic Sub-Zero. Animalities have popped up here and there since MK3. In 1997's Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Nightwolf, Liu Kang, and Shao Kahn all transform into animals. Nightwolf transforms into a wolf, obviously. Liu Kang turns into a dragon, and Shao Kahn into a hydra. The next time we see Animalities in an MK game is in Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, where Liu Kang transforms into a dragon as a fatality. In MK4, Scorpion turns into a scorpion as a fatality. While not in the game yet, there do seem to be some nods to Animalities in MK11, with Liu Kang's dragon fatality, Kotal Khan's jaguar or Kotal Cat, and Devora's Bugvora. So given Ed Boon's teases and the possibility of the return of Animalities in MK11, I wonder which characters will get an Animality, and of those characters, what they will transform into. Until we get a confirmation and a list of who and what the Animalities will be, I have made a list of my top 10 MK11 characters who should get an Animality and what they should transform into. Starting at number 10, I would choose Fujin and have him transform into an eagle. At number 9, I would have Scorpion and have him transform into a scorpion, obviously. At number 8, I would have Raiden and have him transform into electric eel, just like he did in MK3. At number 7, I would have Garrus transform into a crab, since he deals with sand a lot. At number 6, I would have Shang Tsung transform into a cobra like he does in MK3, because he's a snake in real life. Hello. At number 5, I would have Baraka turn into a porcupine. At number 4, I would have the Joker turn into a hyena. At number 3, I would have Cabal turn into a praying mantis, since their arms look similar to his weapons. At number 2, I would have Sindel turn into a Black Widow because she's a temptress and is deceitful and just evil. And at number 1, I would have Scarlet transform into a piranha since she deals with blood. And while I know it's not an animal and it's not on my top list, I think that Cetrion could turn into a Venus flytrap. So what do you think about the tease of Animalities possibly coming to MK11? Are you excited? And what do you think of my list of the top 10 characters and the Animalities that I chose for them? And let me know yours in the comments below. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this one, hit the notification bell. And I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.